Hi, this is Ian Harvey, Presidential Director for Mannatech. And today I have a special guest. I have Bruce Beers, who's also a Presidential Director from Mannatech. He has been with the business from the very beginning and is extremely knowledgeable. And he's going to share with you his wisdom over the next few 20 minutes or so. Get a pen, get some paper. If you're looking for an opportunity, I think you'll find in 20 minutes' time, you'll be saying, how can I get involved? So let me introduce Bruce to you. Bruce, it's over to you.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate the time. Welcome, everyone. And I'm going to handle 3 questions today. Pretty simple questions. Number 1, does food actually supply all the needs we have for our diet? Number 2 is, what does it take to be a premier, top-level, worldwide nutritional company? And number 3, is there any one component that stands out above all the rest that we have to be taking every day? So sit down, buckle up, and let's get started. So I've covered these questions in short. Let's pass by those really quickly. I'm going to give you information that is objective. Objective means it's only the facts, just the facts. Science is based on objectivity. It's not ever going to be on this presentation my opinion or my assessment. It will only be the facts. Are you aware of the fact that around 75% and 85% of all doctors and nurses take or recommend vitamins and minerals? Very interesting. They know something. And what do they know? They know that you can't get the nutrition you want from food anymore. It's just not there. So I grabbed an article back in 2006, and it says farmers get paid on the weight of the crop, not the nutrients in the crop. Did you hear me? The weight, how much it weighs versus what actually is going to do for you. Let me show you how to take a look at that in a little more objective way. In 1951, a woman could eat 2 peaches. That's just 2, and they would get all the vitamin A she needed for the day. Today, it takes 53 peaches. 1951, 1 cup of spinach. Today, 65 to get the same amount of iron. These studies were done between 51 and 99. They were produced and given out to us in 2002. And these are independent studies that drove this information. So what does that present us with? A hidden hunger. It's called malnutrition. Malnutrition is nothing to play with. And we right now have 45, I think it's higher than that, million people in America hungry every day. And that's 1 out of 5 children. And it's no better anywhere around the world. The sad part of it is look at, you can eat as much as you want. You are still not going to get adequate nutrition, which means you're going to eat more. So a study was had recently, and it asked people, do you eat a very healthy diet? And 60% said, absolutely eat a very healthy diet. And when the study was done, they reviewed what the people actually ate, and 94% missed the recommendations of minimals for their daily diet. Right now in America, 90% of all Americans are missing at least 1 nutrient, and 70% are missing at least 3. You guys, that's not any good. You say, well, I'm not from America, so that wouldn't apply to me. Sorry, 67 countries, that's over 1/3 of all countries, have a mandatory enrichment program of at least 3 nutrients in their food base. So it appears, just like for the doctors, very apparent that everybody, bar none, man, woman, and child, should be taking a food supplement of some sort. But which one would you take? So jumping right along with the second question, what makes an outstanding company? What makes one that stands out above all the rest? So let's start off with returns. We're a public company. We have to produce our returns and validate our information when we give it to you. We had less than 1% worldwide. It would be great if it was 1% in the United States, let alone worldwide. Worldwide, we're talking about 46 plus countries. You realize what a big deal that is? That's huge. I was speaking with a board of directors member just recently, and he told me that it was actually 0.25, but they had to use 1% on the form. So the next question I want to present to you answers to is, does anybody care of what's being done by this little R&D nutritional company? Well, yes, the US Congress did. They asked us to come and give a presentation on how our glycan technology would protect against bioterrorism. MIT called us up and said, please come to our Scientific Innovators of the World Conference. Wait a second. We're not a medical company. We're a nutritional R&D company. This is huge. The Royal Society of Medicine never before had a nutritional R&D company come and present to them. After the presentation, we asked Dr. Axford at the Royal Society to be, if he would consider an appointment to our board of directors, and he did. The US Patent Office, and we're going to get more into patents in just a moment, asked us to come and give a presentation, after which Dr. Rollins, a very high-ranking, award-winning official at the Patent Office, said, this is one of the most important discoveries of the 21st century. You guys, this is huge. This is really, really big. The 9th and 10th annual Jenner Glycobiology and Medicine Symposium, held right around The Hague. Every year, the scientists and glycobiologists from around the world come together and they review papers of the best information. In 2009, we presented a paper, and St. George University Group presented a paper on our behalf. That's 2 out of 7. We're an R&D nutritional company. We're not a medical company. In the 10th, a similar thing happened. The Royal Society presented the second paper on our behalf. So in 2 years, 14 papers, 4 of those papers were from an R&D nutritional company. You realize what a big deal that is. I hope you do. So we've spent over $50 million to validate and own our own science. The word is own. That means we own it. We have more knowledge about it than anybody else in our industry. And guys, the $50 million, if I'm not mistaken, was at least 10 years ago. They've lost track on how much money we spend on continuing and getting better and better at what we do. When you walk into our world-class offices, our headquarters, you see the secretary at the front door, and behind her are these beautiful glass windows, and the laboratory sits right back there so you can see it. Now, a little known fact, nutritional companies are not required to spend a single dime, not a dime. They don't have to have a laboratory, and they don't have to prove their science. I hope you're getting the picture. The majority of all nutritional companies do nothing except bottle and sell products. So now getting back to the US patent, we've had over 150 patents issued to us worldwide. 96 of those are still active, and 7, and I just heard the other day, it could be a couple more that are in the pending mode now. This is all about technology and science. It has nothing to do with labels or anything else that other people put to the patent department. Some of these are double-blind crossover studies, which are huge. They're considered the medical premier study you can do, and they were on the brain. So this is really, really important. Because of this, we are able to give a 180-day money-back guarantee. Find another company that does that. We are Mannatech. Probably never heard of us, but you need to know us now. We're pioneers of a new field of in the nutritional world. It's called nutritional glycobiology. We're innovators. We're the science company, and we innovated the thing called glycans. I say the thing called glycans because I'm going to take you down a little science trail. Don't get lost. You can always go back and review this video at the end. Glycans are required for function to happen in the human body. That's your 32.7 trillion cells have to have a glycan attached to them for them to work. So glycans are what makes humans human. Therefore, they are, answer to the third question, the most important product, period, bar none. Let's go just a little bit deeper. So out of the 8 glycans that are required for cellular communication, only 2 are in adequate quantities in the modern diet. This presents a huge problem because glycans are required for all cellular function. They're not medicine. They are actually function facilitators. The National Academy of Sciences, which is what America's equivalent to the Royal Society is the most prestigious medical entity. They say that glycans are involved in all biological processes. All biological processes. So I made a phone call recently to the Children's Hospital down in Oakland, in California, and it spoke with a gentleman named Steve Mack. He was a postdoctorate fellow, and I want to give you a couple of quotes that he gave me that I thought were really interesting. And here's the quote. So to answer your question, what's the number of cells that a human male loses per second? Is somewhere between 200,000 and 3 million cells, and it's probably closer to the 3 million. That's 3 million per second. That's a lot of cells. And he says that's billions of new cells needed every day. So what you eat does count because your body is like a factory. It requires nutrients to build cells. And on a single red blood cell, just one, there's 800 receptors. Every receptor has a glycan. So if we were in a class where we were taking a class on molecular and cellular biology, we would see this kind of a chart. And down here, you'll see in the bottom, it's a yellow picture of a cell. And there's this corkscrew kind of thing that's light brown with this kind of yellow-green thing at the top. That's the glycan at the top. It's a three-sided entity, and it hooks to a protein called a glycoprotein, and it penetrates the cell wall. It then is not a receiver. It's a transceiver. It actually sends information. I need to be fed. I need to be protected. I need to be destroyed. And then it receives information back in a chemical format. So this is really huge. So let's take a look at it in a little further down the road in science. We're going to go to an electron microscope. And this is looking at the cell that's been floated in blue. So you can see the glycans here on the top. The glycans are a forest around every cell. And every disease known to affect humans significantly involves altered, we don't want altered, glycans. Hear me again. Every disease that affects humans significantly involves altered glycans. Again, one more reason you need to be taking something that's glycans. Pulling all the way back out from the little bit of science you just saw, let's take it as simple as I can, myself can actually take it. And it's say that glycans are used to understand what happened when you just swallowed some food. And in this case, it made a long line, a short line, a half round, medium-sized circle, and a smaller half round circle. Then it took the glycans to dispense those nutrients to your brain, which you took and used to think about putting together an alphabet. The glycans then utilize those to be able to allow you to speak and say the word cat. Are you getting the picture? You guys, that is so simple, but there are so many stages of glycans that happen around that. It's very sophisticated. So looking at our company again, some of the science we validated with the double-blind placebo crossover studies was called the gold standard study. And they can contain things like cellular communication, cognitive function, brain, all kinds of brain issues, memory, concentration, alertness, improved mood, decreased irritability. That's kind of cool. And then you've got also multiple immune system functions and much, much more. So I want to pull your attention over here to the right-hand side of the slide where it says modulation. What is modulation? So modulation, if you think of it, your life is going along a stream and you're just cruising. Everything is good. Nothing's going on. And something happens and your immune system, we'll talk about, makes your system go up a little bit. Modulation means it brings it back down to what is normal. Or maybe something happens and your immune system goes down a little bit. Modulation means that it wants to drive your immune system back up to normal. So modulation is a very important function to have moving in your body. An adjuvant. Everything you put it with works better. Here is the premier product on the planet. It's called Ambrotose. Ambrotose is a cellular communication product and much, much more. I couldn't even begin to tell you in a 3 or 4 hour session how many things that Ambrotose actually affects, because all function is affected by glycans. So it appears very prudent to me and should be very prudent to you at this point in time. You need to be taking a vitamin and supplement. From the very beginning, we've known that. So we put together a package of vitamins and supplements that basically nourish, protect, regulate, and communicate. This is a baseline product group for all of you. Everybody should be taking, and I take every day. So let's take a look at the multivitamin. And I just want to bring up a couple of points for you to remember. It's 30 vitamins and minerals and nutrients at maximum nutritional benefit. That's 100% usability, if you will, with very easy physical absorption. So that's really cool. But they're infused with glycans, which I don't know of anybody else that has that. Antioxidant. An antioxidant is equivalent to rust on a bumper of a car or on a roof of a tin shed. And your body inside does that. So after 4 years of study, we were able to figure out exactly what ingredients work best to give you the highest level, most efficient way to support antioxidant in the body. You take 2 capsules a day, it's 2.5 times the amount of antioxidant protection of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. Guys, that's like eating 12.5 or more servings of fruits and vegetables. Try to do that in a day, and you can do it with only 2 capsules. I don't know of anybody else in the marketplace that has anything that is actually tested in human blood. It's called in vitro testing, period. Plus, one of the fun products that we have that is really easy to see in most people is your endocrine system. It's your hormones. It's balancing out your system. So again, when you're healthy and everything's going right and everything's perking along, everything is in balance. So that's what this product is designed to do, help get everything in balance. In addition to supporting breast and prostate and colon and nervous system and cardiovascular and immune support. Huge, huge, good product. So now we've looked at Ambertose and those other 3 products. And guess what? When the first patents came out, I was there and I got to read those patents and they were amazing. The multivitamins, the antioxidants, the plus, and the Ambertose were all involved in these products. So it wasn't just one thing that you could take to get the results that showed up on that patent. And now over 150 patents since. So we are isolated into 3 main areas, which are the most important areas, in my opinion, because they all have to do with wellness in some way. Nutrition and wellness, fitness and weight management, and skincare and personal care. So we took our technology and K-Beauty, which is a $10 billion beauty skincare line, allowed us to put it into the products, and we come up with a product called Loom Innovation, which is available for you today. Ladies, wonderful product. So back to those 3 questions. Let's make sure you got the answers. Number 1, is food going to sustain the best life? No, it's not. It cannot do it on its own. It will not do it on its own, and it's getting worse every day. Secondly, what makes a world-class nutritional company? What makes a pinnacle? What makes the top company? Okay, because we're the only company I know of that started a whole new arena of nutrition, nutritional glycobiology. Patents, yep. Technology, yep. Who's looking at us? Medical groups, universities, Congress, everybody's looking at us. Everybody wants. Mannatech is and should be your choice of nutritional companies as number 1. Lastly, what is the one most important product of all supplements in the world? It's Ambertose. Glycans are what make humans humans. That is very, very important for you to know. So thank you for watching. Get back to the person who shared this video with you for more information. And you've been watching me, Bruce Beers, and my information is on board.